Hello then, welcome back to France. Last time we declared war on the Pope and England. We beat England pretty significantly, although I did get, well, miles handed to me for bad planning. But then we declared war on the Pope, and Austria betrayed us. They, well, followed our lines and went after our bastards. I'm very tempted here to put Austria in a position where I can rival them. It would be helpful. But for now we'll fight most likely Russia and Scandinavia for the unforeseeable future because of this. And with that said, what we're going to do is actually start fabricating claim. I definitely do want to block Russia from any, well, eastern colonization. So I'm going to become the, well, big French blob in both sides basically. And I'm going to move some troops over to Scandinavia. Then we're going to declare war on them, which should be interesting. And the reason why I didn't actually continue the war with Austria here is pretty straightforward. We didn't have the troops in order, to be perfectly honest. I'm also looking very much forward to using the Bohemian extreme general here, 34-6 general. Why would I want a castle in Sierra Leone that costs me money? Because when nothing is ever happening down there. The answer is I would not, so let's just fix that. I'm also going to get rid of the unrest in the region, because of course we don't need that either. And we're going to, of course, assign these provinces to trading companies, because they are quite literally, well, rather worthless, and thus we also want to do this to the English as soon as we are given the opportunity later on. But we don't have the opportunity just yet, so we'll have to wait. I do definitely want to get rid of the English. That is a given. But we will fight Scandinavia. We'll also end up fighting Lithuania with that. I'll probably have to have a general basically ready here, so I might have to actually buy one, even though I don't really want to. I might, as I said, have to, so we'll have to see how we deal with that. We don't have the greatest army tradition either, so it's a weird one in terms of how am I supposed to handle this. But we'll figure that out sooner or later. I did get an extra merchant, so that's good. Now, what do we want to use this guy for? We probably don't actually want to do any trading in the English Channel, to be perfectly frank. We have very little power there. Let's see, what do we want to do? We want to transfer this and make sure it goes where we want it to, which is to, well, it goes in this channel either way, so I'll just have to switch him over later. It's not a big deal. But anyways, as I said, we'll prepare for war against Scandinavia, and once we're ready to start that, I'll get back to you. And hopefully this time I'll be a little bit more competent in my troop handling abilities. I make no guarantees, however. It'll probably still be horrible. And I definitely need to focus more on, well, the military. Most of that I've done in the past here, so I'll just get, as I said, everything in order, and then we will get started, and we'll see how this turns out. It could get very interesting very fast, so we'll see. It hopefully will be a victory, and as you also know, we're building a lot of castles in preparation for a war with Austria. I'm going to do that very, very soon, because I definitely want Austria to be destroyed here. We're going to get, most likely, unfortunately we can't really do much, but at the very least here I can get Croatia and Hungary back, and then we can just work from there, creating vassals, and Lucca will just be a Genoan property in the future. Same with the Popery. I think I'm just going to basically create an Italian state here, that is Genoa, that I can then annex later. Unfortunately, hopefully before the, well, everything gets pissed at me for, well, doing so. I'm also going to mothball this fleet, I think, once the war actually begins properly, because it seems like it might be necessary just for control purposes. But with that said, let's just take a quick look here on our troops. We have 174,000. On maximum troops, we should have 180,000. So we do eclipse Austria pretty severely here, and we should be able to beat them very easily. In terms of Scandinavia, they have 40,000 troops, so they have a bit, but they don't really have anything that could put us in danger. So I'm going to put, I think, 40,000 on each side. These guys will be trying to block Lithuania, of course. And I'm a little bit unsure how I want to go ahead and harm Scandinavia. But I know for a fact that what I am going to have to do is most likely block their strait. That should give me ample time to basically keep, hopefully, some of the forces in Denmark. We can actually check this out before we start the war. How much of their force is actually in Denmark? Because if they have half their force there, they're going to be very easy to kill. England, why are you colonizing already? Queen Sarah, why must you do this? I should probably do something here, but we'll deal with that later. They actually have a 19,000 stack here, so what we can do is just block the strait. We'll block the strait here because it's just easier. And they have 21,000 men in Stockholm, so if I want to blitz the guys in Stockholm, which is what we're actually going to do, we're going to walk from Jämtland, and we're going to blitz the guys in Stockholm. These guys are going to take Trøndelag and then start sieging the castles. These 48,000 men is basically just Lithuanian, well, break squad, if you will. And I have no idea if the fortress will actually help in terms of defense, but woods are defensive terrain, so we'll stay there instead. And we'll see how this goes. But I think we might be able to pull off the victory here, I hope. And again, I'm very uncertain if I want to just try and save up some money first. If I have to take a loan, it will basically put me in an awkward situation, but it should still be fine. So we'll keep on fabricating claims, of course, on Russia, and we'll go ahead and declare war. Should be straightforward and very much winnable, I dare say. So let's just get everything in order, and then we'll go ahead and declare war. I'm pretty sure also that my allies will join into this war with me. My allies being Poland. Bohemia and Poland will basically keep Lithuania at bay, or at least try and keep Lithuania at bay. And, well, we should be fine here in just taking Värmland. It's the closest one. In terms of fortresses here, we should probably just rush for Småland and Skåne right away, because they are, well, they're giving less focus right now. So it could definitely be useful, again, just to rush to them. We have a Scandinavian fleet here challenging our own. And the Polish one is actually challenging the rest of the Scandinavian fleet, basically keeping them at bay to some degree. There's another one here. Can we beat that? I'm a little bit unsure, actually, so we're just going to hold stand for now. They're actually going to beat me at Götaland. This is going to be troublesome. Apparently, I am not allowed to leave Stockholm. This is my bad, of course. I did it very much bad. I'm going to improve my strategy, guys. Look, did not improve strategy at all. And got completely trashed from the get-go. Come on, retreat already. There we go. What now? You couldn't retreat? Please tell me that was a bad joke, and my army, or my fleet is getting trashed too. That quite literally made no sense. I got just randomly stack wiped there. How? What? No, I'm going to leave the country open to Lithuania. And apparently my general died too. No, he's stuck there. What am I even thinking? This is a very weird one. I can't even explain what happened. I also need to upgrade my navy. Apparently, Scandinavia is just so much stronger. But it also seems like Poland has a very good grip on Lithuania. So I just need all my forces here to deal with the Scandinavian one, and we should be fine. And in this case, I will actually allow myself to turn my ruler into general. I think he's age 18, but with my luck I'm going to end up with another regency, which actually hurt me quite a lot more. Let's see how good of a general he is. He's decent, so we'll use him for the time being. Yeah, still this is weird. They're also sieging a lot faster than I am, even though the stack composition is quite basically the same. This is interesting. Doesn't really matter though. Norwegian land isn't really that rich, so I shouldn't incur too much war exhaustion. And again, if I take the capital and just keep it, that will give me a lot more power than if they do anything on their own. So I should still be fine, of course, unless my navy gets wiped. I think I might actually have to upgrade my navy compared to the Lithuanian or Scandinavian one here. Yeah, they have a couple of techs ahead of me here. No, they're not. then it's basically just because of, well, Scandinavian seafarers and also the fact they have a bigger fleet. Which actually makes sense if you think about it. So I guess I'm not completely out of line. We lost the siege of Alcaçuz. Are you going back to Stockholm? Does seem like you are. Let's just wait here until they actually arrive in Stockholm, and then we can move our troops here to help. Because the other doomsday that Scandinavia has is not actually doing anything. Moving to Helsingland, so going for the, well, re-siege, if you will. No, they're actually running further than this. Huh. This is interesting. I don't really want to challenge the army in Eidskivir though. Or Eidskivir. Because it is pretty powerful. And again, these are mountains. They are definitely defensive terrain. It seems like they're actually going to try and, well, fix the siege that's currently happening in Viborg. I have no idea how this is going to go, actually. Could go well, it could go bad. But yeah, for the time being, we'll just focus on sieging the Swedish land, and we'll see what happens there. If I could just siege the Swedish main, or I'm no idea why I call them Swedes, because I think it's because the Swedes form Scandinavia. But as long as I can keep them under control here, I should be fine even so. This battle, though, is going to get very, very interesting. Mostly due to the fact that I don't have a general. And Scandinavia's tech is the same as mine. We are getting closer here to next tech, though, so it's not too bad, but it's not great either, as one might imagine. And again, I'm just going to allow this battle here to ensue. It isn't too much of a difference, 2-1. So it's not great, but it's not too bad either. It's Gralsland, so it's not too defensively, sadly, but nothing I can do about that right now. They're already going to arrive. No, they actually didn't go. I should have paid attention. They didn't even go there. Wow, I am a dumb. But it seems like they will most likely go to Stockholm now and try and re-siege that. So I can probably use that to my advantage, I dare say. In terms of Lithuania, they're still messing around with Poland, and none have actually had any progress so far. But as I said, it's going to be incredibly interesting once we get into a war with Austria here. It's definitely brewing, so it's just a matter of time before it happens. But yeah, back to claim fabrication, and if there's a big battle, I'll show you. I'll probably move these guys here actually to Stockholm, because if they decide to take the sea route here, which is actually very, very likely, then I can get some bonus modifiers, because they will be walking over water. And I might just have to split off half the stack here and move north. Nope, he turned around. Not missed. The AI is actually smart. Turned around. But I'll continue to siege here and we'll see how things go. Lithuanian forces are actually uniting now, so I might have to try and do something to get Lithuania out of this war, because they beat Poland pretty harshly here, as we can see. I think. Where's the last battle? Apparently not, according to this, but I have no idea. Probably these two. But of course, it's going to be harsh anyways. But I'll continue the sieges, and we'll see how things go. As I said, I don't really want to challenge the army in Eidskivir, but if I can just keep this one, well, bouncing back and forth, that is probably useful as well. I guess we'll take the prestige. Stockholm is also grassland, so worst case scenario, I can just wait for the Smolensk siege to finish, and then we can just double boom them. Basically, land to set up a siege, then go on the offensive is also a definite option here. I need to cut them off, these guys, if not I'm going to end up in trouble. Converted all on that's good, good. I'm a little bit sure who will actually arrive first, 4th and 7th, so we'll have a negative modifier, most likely. Yep, but morale-wise we're crushing them. So the battle might actually be over before the reinforcements arrive on 21st. It actually ended before the reinforcements arrived. And now they got a double negative modifier, which is very, very good. Let's just start to siege Skåne here. And hopefully my guys can actually come in and save the day before we lose all morale. 17th of January. Can you hold out that long? Probably not. We're committed. We're sadly enough committed here, and we got the negative modifiers this time. I should just run away, run to Agda once we can. I love that the wild round can get past and forth, but the control one can't. This is going to get very interesting. They're attacking over the sea this time, but I don't actually have a general there, which is going to put this into a very awkward scenario. Apparently with the same amount of troops I am useless lately. They did not get, and not only did they not get negative modifier, they did a stack wipe on. Did you attack up? No, you didn't. I really would have liked to see the rolls on that one, but still, that was pretty interesting. This is putting me in a very bad position in terms of continued warfare. You're actually going overseas, so that's good at least. But I have to see how I want to handle this, because they attacked me, they did not lose what they should be losing, and I ended up in trouble. I mean, 4 speed can actually be useful here. Military tech is February next year, so getting closer to that too. Let's join you two together. Let's put the army in charge, or a general in charge. And they're actually going to attack me here. Let's see if this time I get a positive modifier or not. Nope, no positive. Grasslands though, so it shouldn't be anyways. But we are winning. We have 1.3 more morale. They have a little bit more tactics though from military tech discipline. Yeah, they get it from the discipline. That's why they're doing so well. These are definitely a dangerous. They're definitely a dangerous enemy. Enemy that needs to be dealt with. Now, can I get Lithuania out of this? That's a big question. If I can get Lithuania out of this, then a lot of it is done. No. You are not willing to give up anything either just yet. So the goal will have to be to take this area completely. Control this, this, and this, and have you guys give up Lithuania. That should make me very, very happy if I can pull that off. But it seems like it's kind of doubtful. We're actually going to retreat to Vassland because it is a fortress or a forest, and I'm very curious about where these guys' destination are. If I had known, I would be very, very happy, and I would probably move my troops there, but I have no idea. So, for the time being, we'll just have to wait and see here. If they're running to Helsingland, then that would be pretty much useful. It seems like they're running to Skåne at the very least. Do I want to gamble here? Send my fleet to block that passage? Oh, I almost forgot. They still have their fleet guarding mine. Nope, they ran past. They actually attacked me in forest terrain and are winning. Well, granted, I did already have pretty low morale, but still, that's disappointing. Also disappointing that they suffered less losses. Seriously, why can't you run the other way for once? This is hilarious. Instead of running the other way into our own lands, we run through enemy-controlled islands. Oh, the French-Mexico treasure fleet arrived. 100 gold. Wow. That's good, I guess. How's Sweden doing on war exhaustion? It's going up, which is good. Lithuania, how are you guys doing? Do you not want to give up yet? Please? Nope. I'll keep this war going a little bit for myself, and we'll see if I can turn this around, but right now it's not looking good, and I'm seriously starting to doubt myself as a strategist in year 4. I'm getting worse at it. I need to play just pure military-based games, because right now I'm playing horrible. But it should sort itself a little bit out once we get the next tech here, as soon as the year changes. And if we get into any battles, then I'll show you, but hopefully we can start turning things around then. I'll be right back. Or rather, I'll take the tech and then I'll see how the battles go. Carbine, level 18. Gallop cavalry and letter cannons, as well as maneuver value of my units increased by 2 and combat width increased by 2. 25% maneuver value, sorry. My bad. But yeah, this should make things a lot more interesting, to be perfectly honest. And we will upgrade our unit times here. Tax it, better leave it be. High tariffs increase the willingness to break free, if you will. So let's just upgrade our cannons and cavalry. And hopefully we can start beating them back now. I'm hoping that. There's 24,000 man army stuck here. I'm suffering some, of course I'm suffering a lot of voice loss just from the sieges here. But if I can turn this around now and get rid of at least one of their stacks, we should be fine. And if, again, if my friends here do keep on beating them, then we'll definitely look a lot better. So I'll test it in this battle, and then we'll continue next time, I think. And let's see, 7th of April. Let's just slow it down so I don't miss the date here. There we go. Let us assign a battle formation and see how this goes. I am bringing a ton of troops, a ton of cannons, so we should in theory shred these guys. The general is basically equal, so to speak. The only thing is that they have more discipline and of course military tactics, but even so, we are losing more troops than them. Far more troops than them. We had an H3 roll in that last one, so not completely horrible, but not particularly great either. We're just going to siege the province that we haven't actually taken control of yet, and then we're going to move on to Finland and see here if we can actually make some more drastic measures against Scandinavia. Hopefully we can pull something off. I'll be back very soon. Well, that was not what it was intended, but the last battle here before we quit today, sorry for the long episode, but the last battle we'll do here is actually an attack on the small line army here, because it's in the woods, but I do have I have placed my army into a position that allows me to well, do a fair amount of damage, if you will, because they'll get a morale boost just before they hit, and that should probably help. Oh, they didn't get the morale boost because they arrived on the day of the morale boost. That's a rookie mistake, and I might actually lose this battle because of it, because they would get my well, -1 to terrain modifier, but still, discipline. The discipline of the Swedes here are really strong, and it's a problem for me. But I definitely need to recover now, just troops and morale and everything. I'm very disappointed I haven't been able to stack whip in forever, quite literally. But now that both my armies are basically free to use, I should be able to pull something off. Yes, they're retreating again. And again, I just need Lithuania out of this. Once Lithuania leaves, then it will be a lot easier to keep this under control. Basically, once Lithuania leaves, Scandinavia will have no choice but to agree to my terms, because we have already occupied so much of the country. But we'll continue this next time. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment, praise, criticism, anything you feel like, and I'll see you next time. Bye!